let's start this discussion. We're going to talk Nintendo stuff. Me, OBA, and you, friend for a long time. So let's get this started.
Alright.
Let's start with, what do you think that Nintendo should do business-wise in 2016? Or this year, I should say.
Oh god, so much pressure. Alright. So hear me out, alright? Hear me out.
Yep.
I don't know what to say, bro.
Come on, you can do better than that.
Alright, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo is, I feel like they should focus more on what the players want. And, you know, I've always gone back to, and we've discussed this many times over the years, but I feel they should really, like, focus on, like, the games that really made them big. And not just Mario, but all the other first-party ones, like F-Zero,
Yeah.
Star Fox, and... I mean, Star Fox is getting its game, but I feel like it's not getting a lot of importance, like, in Smash. And I feel that they should have added more characters. I mean, specifically Wolf, because I know you're a big fan of Wolf, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're doing good, but at the same time, this is something wrong. I just don't like the layout of, like, the Miiverse and that. I don't know, I feel it's too childish. And
oh, we don't even want to touch it.
I already know your personal opinion on it, and it's a bad one, but I don't know, like, when I compare it to, so I have, obviously the Xbox One, but nobody knows that, but I'm not an Xbox drone or anything like that, but I'm open.
Xbox.
Yeah, but I just feel that, I don't know, like, we've wanted things like Party Chat for so long, and they haven't delivered to it, and...
Iwata did say originally it would come at some point, but then it never did.
One point, unless, I don't know.
I mean, I think that was because of the 3DS's, what the fuck was that thing called? That swap note incident.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel that they're too scared of, like, bullying, and, like, I can understand the same way, but I don't know.
Yet they hire professional bullies all the time, the admin.
Yeah. I feel that they're like an overprotective parent that just, I don't know, that they really just gotta let go of, like, this notion of, everyone is, like, 10 years old, because, like, they're a very old company, and I don't understand why they still think that people just stop playing them after a while.
It's like maybe they feel their fans, they from the N64 or NES days or whatever, didn't grow up.
I know, exactly. Or, like, they have this notion that, like, they just quit and they become adults. And, like, I remember, like, the thing that Reggie said at, like, the Smash, he was, like, playing Smash against a pro, and then, like, he started bashing. He's like, I have to work 16 hours. I can't play. Like, he was like, oh, man. Like, that put him into some hot water there, and I was like, oh, no. So, I don't know, maybe that's what they're thinking. I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, they need to bring the edge back, like the get in or get out.
I feel like they're just too casual. That's my problem with it.
I feel like, for me, in my opinion, it's more, I don't know, maybe it's, well, I can't say it's the loss of Iwata, because this was happening before he was gone, but it's more of a struggle with Nintendo. They're like, we're stuck with our old ways because it worked for us in the past. We don't want to abandon them.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, they aren't really sure. I mean, they are trying new things, like with the amiibos and, quality of life and all that stuff. But I feel like they have ideas, but they're hesitant to actually, be 100% supportive with their own idea and go for it.
Yeah, I feel like they're too conservative in a way. They should really try. Just go all out, man. Because I don't know. I feel like they're kind of just losing out a lot. And I feel like they have so much more potential.
I mean, we can segue this into talking about Kimishima, the new president of Nintendo. And unlike Iwata's his past, where he was, a programmer, game developer, just a guy that liked to tinker around with stuff, Kimishima, much more the business side, where according to his resume, it shows he was in charge of a bank at one point, a manager or whatever in Japan, and he had Reggie's job before Reggie and stuff, and it was his decision to bring, actually it was part his decision to bring gold and silver to North America, along with Yamanouchi, the former Nintendo president before Iwata. And so I feel like, if anything, and this is something I should have mentioned before when we were talking about Nintendo kind of not being in touch, was they need to get the North American market treated equally to Japan and Europe.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kimishima has proven in the past that he did that. So if anything, he knows all about business. He knows that the North American market is a, you can't neglect it. It is a money pit. There is profit there. So, I don't know. I feel like it's still too early. He hasn't really done anything of his own ideas yet, because he said that, he's going to stick with Iwata's ideals, at least until, they're out of his ideals, and like at the end of where he was at. But at the same time, it would also be a good time for him to, show that he is going to, push the envelope a little bit into a better direction.
Yeah, I feel like they're just stuck in this vicious circle that they, like you said before, like they're just not committing to their ideas. That, can potentially work, but I just feel like they're not adapting to like what modern day gaming is, and I feel like they're just, I don't know. Like at the same time, I and I've been playing Nintendo games for a long time, but as a kid, but I feel like they have to modernize, and the only way they're gonna do that is start with party chat and just have, I don't know.
Even if it was for friends list only, I'd be fine with that.
Perfectly fine. Because I mean, why would you talk to random people anyway? Or you would, but not much.
To be fair, that's how me and you became friends.
Yeah, I know, true.
But still, yeah. I would say though, when it comes to, I wouldn't just say straight up modernizing, or like, the whole Nintendo's behind, they need to catch up thing.
Yeah, I know.
I would say it's more of, because like I don't want Nintendo systems to just be like, 12-year-olds screaming in your ear all the time, and that's quote modernizing, the system. I would say, Nintendo, bring back the Nintendo seal of quality, and actually like improve upon modernization. You can quote catch up, but that doesn't mean you should settle for that. You should actually still bring something new to the party.
Exactly. I feel like what I should probably say, maybe correct my statement, is not like they're modern, but I feel like they should tinker and improve on things that they have missed out or something.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next thing finally, which actually kind of brings into what we were just talking about here. What do you believe, like you personally, that the NX is, and what do you want it to be, if that's a different thing?
I honestly, oh man, like, I hope it's not a home console. I really don't. Like, because if it is, I mean, let's be real. If they're going to announce anything, they're going to announce it at E3, and I feel like they're going to announce it this year, and it'll be a home console. I just feel like they've just nuked the Wii U, and there's just no point. Like, but I don't think Nintendo's, that's not their goal, and I don't think they're that stupid enough to do it. But then again, like, they've proven me time and time again that they've done some questionable things.
Yeah.
I hope, if it's a handheld, I can understand, but at the same time, I feel like the 3DS is, I don't know, I don't feel like it needs to be replaced right away. But if they, I don't know, I feel like if they do replace it, I think it'd be a bit too early. But at the same time, they're gonna announce it. It's not gonna come out in like, I don't know, a few years.
I don't know. I feel like, as for the home console side, there's going to be, we do know they are making their next home console.
Yeah, definitely. I just don't think it's NX.
Well, see, like, again, we've talked about this time and time again. I'm pretty sure there's going to be, an NX version of a handheld and an NX version of a home console. There'll be, Iwata said in the past that they would have similar architecture for their handheld and home console. I don't see the NX home console being revealed at E3. I see the handheld version. But at the same time, I do believe there will be a quote NX home console, whatever NX apparently doesn't even stand for anything, Kimishima says. But
I feel like we can see that it's like kind of like, because you can see like the 3DS and the Wii U have compatibility already. And I think maybe if what you're saying ends up being reality, I feel like it's just going to be like the improved thing that it'll just be functional in every single game. Because I mean the 3DS right now, like I think probably the biggest thing it has is like being a controller for Smash, and probably other things that I'm forgetting. But I think the Smash one is pretty big. Because whenever you want to play like eight-player local Smash, like that's usually what you're supposed to do. So.
Yeah, unless you do that glitch where you can actually control 8 characters yourself. If you've seen that.
No, please not.
So what do you think the NX's, quote, gimmick will be?
Gimmick? Oh, man. Oh, it's hard to tell,
gimmick
man.
Is a negative, but I don't.
I know. I don't see it. Like, honestly, I find that every time people bash on the gimmick, people end up following. Like, I remember the Wii. Like, like everyone followed it, and like the gimmicks were actually like the people who copied them that were really bad.
Yeah.
Like the Kinect and the PS Move, which were just disgusting. Specifically the PS Move, because the Kinect, well, it's still forgettable, but it still has its functions of saying Xbox on.
Yeah. Oh, careful! You just turned your system.
No, I didn't. Luckily, thank God. But I don't know what the gimmick could be, honestly. Maybe I don't know. Like, I feel like they always innovate. Like, I would have never thought of like the Wii U having a tablet as a controller. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like in the past when I was a kid, we were always saying like, oh, in the future, a console or a controller is gonna have a screen on it. I bet.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Like, I guess it's just like it was bound to happen. But I just don't. I don't know what else could be like.
Yeah. Well, you know, the newest fad that's coming up is virtual reality.
Okay, well, if it's going to be virtual reality, oh, I don't know. I feel like there's too many problems with it right now.
Yeah. It would be an improvement over the Virtual Boy. You can't argue that.
I was thinking about that. Like, they've already done virtual reality.
Yeah. Although I would say, rather than, you know, quote, virtual reality, I'd rather have it be more heavily focused on augmented reality, like how the 3DS started off with its AR cards.
Yeah, that thing was, it was nice. I don't know whatever happened to it. It just, yeah, it kind of died.
Especially, like, I did a video on YouTube before talking about, like, the idea of an NX handheld launching with the new-gen Pokemon game, and if it used augmented reality, I think that would be phenomenal.
I remember that thing we were talking about, like, the Pokemon game, like, traveling across the world to catch Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. That's Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Like, we call that, like, years ahead of us. I'm sorry, but that's pretty sad. We got it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I don't know what the gimmick could be. I find it, unless maybe, like, I don't know, like, links up to your, if they go really mobile and really go all out, but, like, I don't know.
Oh, they better keep mobile the fuck away from that.
I know. I really don't like mobile games.
Like, I'd be fine with, like, an app that let you, like, you know how they're going to share their new Nintendo account system. Like, that'd be okay. But don't actually be like, oh, you can put your NX games on your phone and play it that way.
I remember there's something you said about, like the whole controller was like a screen or something.
Oh, that patent.
Yeah, the patent. Maybe that. I feel like that patent has to be, has to do with the NX. If it is like a controller without buttons and just touchscreen, which I hope it's not, because I feel like that's not the way gaming is going. Especially like, I don't know, competitive gaming. You don't have a touchscreen keyboard or like a controller with touchscreen like just the buttons completely are all digital. It's not 100% responsive.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this whole smartphone and iPad gaming thing is a fad. It'll die off soon enough.
Yeah, definitely. So. I don't see it.
But the patent did show that there was 2 sticks and shoulder buttons. So, I mean, there were some buttons. So, I don't know. They could always take the Xbox One Elite controller layout and have it where you can customize your controller with buttons and whatnot.
I always like that idea of like
too fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Like the idea is really nice, but the price is just like my wallet just dies. Just thinking.
Yeah. You basically have to just do a trade with them. Here's your wallet, or here's my wallet. Give me one of those.
Trade my wallet. Give me trade my kidney for like there's like a bit, so like a paddle or whatever.
All right, let's move on here to let's see here. When do you think Nintendo will reveal the actual NX? Now, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but let's get a little more in detail.
I mean, when they're going to reveal it? Again,
whether it's like a full reveal, whether it's like, oh, little info here, little here.
Oh, man, I feel like they really got to go all out, man. Like, I feel like as much as the Wii U, I feel like it's a good console, I feel like it didn't, I don't know, it didn't sell as much as I would hope it would be compared to the...
Well, I mean, Nintendo failed at advertising.
Yeah, they failed at advertising.
They advertised Splatoon and Mario Kart 8 12,000 times more than the system.
That's pretty sad. I feel like...
And then Xenoblade had no advertising at all.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what their priorities are. I feel, again, and going back to the first topic about how to advertise, I feel like they really should have a more consistent...
Yeah, even spend half the profits from Amiibos on advertising.
I don't understand. Yeah, seriously, that thing is that stuff is like crack for people. But going back to the topic though, if they're gonna announce something, they're gonna announce it like big. There's no way they're gonna put this on the download. Just a little information here. Like if they're gonna
from that article.
if they're gonna announce it, they're gonna make it big and they're gonna hype this shit up. Because if they don't, I mean, the NX just not gonna have it's gonna have a bumpy ride. unless they really like improve on whatever that makes the mistakes. But if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do E3. Obviously, it's the biggest, it's the biggest convention for games. That's where it is. That's what's gonna happen. They don't. I feel like for E3, they gotta stop doing their stupid Nintendo Directs and be live, because I feel like the impact if being live is just, I don't know. I feel it's much better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they could somehow combine the feel of the Nintendo E3 Directs with like how they did the Smash Bros. Live tournament, then that would be the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like
have a Nintendo crowd in the audience.
Yeah.
That's there for Nintendo, not just media people who are like Michael Patcher.
Oh, you go fuck off. but yeah, I don't know. I feel that they gotta have a live crowd. Like I remember last year when they said it was online. Like I was interested to see what they're gonna do. It was cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel again it felt scripted, and it didn't.
Well, that was the point.
I know. I just like having the live feel, and I don't know. All eyes are on you, while people can just be like, well, it's gonna be recorded either way. I don't know. I like things live and raw and just.
Yeah. I mean, that's been hit or miss in the past before, though. Like, I think the last live E3 they had was when they ended with the, 30-minute long Nintendo Land demonstration.
Oh, boy.
And people were just like, why is this still going on?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they should learn from those mistakes, develop on them, and, they gotta really hit a home run this E3 if the NX is gonna be there.
Yeah, maybe it'd go like a little step further in bringing out, like when they're showing a game, do what they do with the Treehouse at E3, where just have the developer come out on stage and talk about it. Because like whenever Miyamoto's on stage at E3 live, people are tuning in.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Let's see here. So you're saying you think it'll be revealed at E3 then?
If it gets revealed, it'll be at E3. I don't see I don't see any way else. Like if they do, it's questionable. But if it's this year, I don't know how I'd feel about it if it'd be this year. I feel like if they announce it, it really depends what the NX is.
Yeah.
And
And so do you think like it'll be at E3 they'll reveal every single detail, or like just what the official name of the console is going to be?
I feel like they're gonna show like a primitive model like what they did for the Wii U. They're gonna show what it looks like and like its gimmick, or if you want to call it a gimmick.
Well, I mean, with the first E3 with the Wii U, they didn't even show the system. It was just the gamepad to focus on.
Yeah, that's it.
So, with the Wii, they revealed the controller last. Like, that was the big shock. Was actually at like a not Tokyo Game Show, but it was some like special event, not E3, where the controller was revealed. But so I don't know. For me, I'd say the concept, like what NX can do that's so different, will be revealed at E3.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening.
I can't really think much like on how much time they're going to spend game-wise for NX.
Because I feel it's too early to do that. Like, there's so many big games coming out this year that it's fun.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll announce it, and I don't know.
New Super Mario Bros. NX.
Fuck that, man. They gotta stop milking the fuck out of the damn plumber. Seriously.
Yeah.
I remember when the Wii U, when they first showed off, like, the graphical potential and they showed the Zelda thing. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, Zelda U is
oh, yes. It's gonna be amazing. I just like, personally, I like the more realistic feel for, like, the, Twilight Princess feel.
Yeah.
But,
well, there you go. Twilight Princess HD.
Yes. I am.
A blurry, slightly upgraded thing. For some people, or for some reason, a lot of people seem to think Nintendo's making that. They're not. Tantalus is. That's why it doesn't look as good as Wind Waker HD.
I feel that, I don't know. I do like the idea that, that game's finally going to come out. But I hope that it doesn't, I hope it really lives up to what it's going to be. I mean, none of them are really screwed up, but I hope it really is the Game of the Year potential. And
oh, yeah.
It really looks like it. Just like the scale of the world is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's equal to the size of Xenoblade's world. Holy moly. But, so let's move on here. Let's see. Well, I guess this kind of ties into the same thing we talked about, but when do you think the NX will launch? Whether this is a handheld home console, just in general.
Oh, man. Definitely not this year. I'd probably say, honestly, 2018. Or late.
Oh, that's way
Or late 2017. I don't see it coming out anytime soon. If they do, then they got balls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Wii U was revealed. It took 2 E3s before it came out.
Yeah.
So if that were the case here, that would still be 2017.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like again, with an NX handheld, it could release this fall, but more than likely it'd probably be Japan first. But unless Kimishima was pushing for more of a worldwide launch, which that's another thing I forgot to say with business decisions way at the beginning was Nintendo needs to work on more global launches.
Seriously, there's some weird stuff like that. The Yoshi's Woolly World bullshit. I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
Yeah, Devil's Third was
I
another
wanted to buy that game, but when I realized that like Europe had it like I don't know like which
6 months or
6 months ahead of us, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like what? Like why? Like I just lost complete interest in the game. I'm like I just forgot about it, and by the time it was out, I was like, well, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like with, and some people were complaining like, oh, you guys always get everything first and whatnot, but it's like, I remember Scribblenauts Unlimited, which, you know,
oh yeah, that game.
Not that major of a game anyway, but I mean, Europe took like a year and a half to get it after us, but...
It's so weird. I don't know why they do that. I don't know like what kind of strategy that is, but that's like probably the stupidest thing I've seen.
Yeah.
They really got to focus on that, like just globalize and just make everything like synchronized. I think is also important.
Yeah, because I mean, they do sometimes, like the Pokemon games.
Oh,
I think
we got it before Japan. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm very confused. Like, I don't know. I'm just, I don't know why. I'm just, there's no explanation I could think about that would ever help them.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another thing we haven't touched on with NX. Memory.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a big one.
First of all, do you want an actual dedicated
hard
drive like PlayStation, Xbox, or if they're going to go with the flash memory, which is faster loading times, would you rather it be, you know, say, because you wouldn't have to install games like you do on Xbox or PlayStation. God, that thing is annoying. Would you, like, say, would you rather have a dedicated 500 gigabyte hard drive?
There's no way it's going to be that small. It's going to be a terabyte at least. No, but knowing Nintendo, it'll be lower because they don't know that yet.
Exactly. Or would you rather have a 250 gigabyte flash memory?
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like installing games, but it really depends on the download time. I mean, I have no issue with, like, the Wii U, but, again, I'm not too tech savvy about, like, the hard drives and stuff, and, like, I know, like, flash drives are, you know, better. But I don't, you know, again, the other companies are not really digging into it, really. And, I mean, but, again, that's if you want to innovate. Actually, like, the flash drive can work quite well.
Yeah. Or they could go back to that whole rumor with
the cartridges.
It being,
oh, man. Exactly. Yo, I want to blow those cartridges, bro. Like, that shit was classic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if it's going to be physical, they're going to have to do a lot more than, like, 32 gigs. Like, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, unless you plan to go all digital or download a hell of a lot of DLC. That
will never happen. Digital will never completely take over the physical copy.
I don't know, man. I think Sony would go there first, because, like,
they're stupid.
The Sony president, at one point, when asked about PS5, said that it would be unlikely there would be a console. It'd be like a little thing you plug into your TV, and it'd be like a Netflix experience where you just stream games digitally.
That's dumb.
But, I mean, companies...
That would drive out a lot of
companies. Go that way.
That would kill too many companies.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Physical, I always will like overgrading, you know, over the digital, unless like you're in like a hurricane or there's like a storm, and then if you're really that desperate. But,
yeah. Also, with NX handheld, you wouldn't need 500 gigabytes.
No, definitely.
I would be fine with like, I don't know, 100 gigabytes, because like my new 3DS XL has a, 32 gigabyte micro SD card, and that's plenty. But I don't know. For a home console, I'd still prefer flash drive, but at least, you know, 250 gigabytes.
Yeah, 9 megs, bro. That's all. That's what I'm talking about. Just download like a freaking GIF, and you're done.
Only if every single game was made by Shinen, who can compress, you know, one of the most absolutely realistic-looking games into 500 megabytes.
I'm sorry, but those guys are freaking talented. Like they should like be in charge of F-Zero.
Yeah.
I feel like they do a good job. Like they, you know.
Yeah, I kind of actually just rage quit on my Fast Racing Neo game the other day. Like, I'm not even going to do the series anymore because like, I can play F-Zero. I can't play this. This is hard as fuck. I know we're getting off topic here, but, like, I can't even unlock the second difficulty. That's how hard it is.
Oh, man.
But,
They're good. They're a good developer. That's German, that you like to call them.
Yeah, I think there's only, like, 6 of them on their team now.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's a small game, but, quite impressive.
And they always were Nintendo only, but now they're also with Sony. So.
Whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on here. What launch games would you like to see on the NX? And what games do you think we'll actually get at launch?
Well,
Try not to be overly, unrealistic here.
No, I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. I mean, if looking at the Wii U, I'd say there's probably going to be a Super Mario game. And if
2D, 3D.
I don't want a 3D thing. Like, I'm tired of these 3D like gimmicks. Like 3D movies, forget about it. My eyes bleed. Like, that shit's bad. The 3DS, a lot of people don't use the 3D.
I do.
I use this too when I can, but I feel like it's just a hassle. And I think the 3D is going to be eliminated if it is a handheld. I think, like, they're not going to replicate the same thing.
Oh, it's 4D. It's all about 4D. But I meant, like, 2D side-scrolling or, like, 3D Mario 64. Yeah.
I think it's going to be 3D. I think 2D seems like a thing of the past, honestly. Although I do really like 2D side-scrollers, but I think 3D is going to happen.
Because the 2D ones do sell a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like Mario Maker kind of, unless they dramatically change the 2D formula, the 2D version is kind of at a standstill with Mario Maker.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the pinnacle of it, and I don't see it. I don't know how they can, like, rev it up and change it, really. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't like 3D 3D Mario games unless they're, like, on the home console, like, Galaxy 64 and, like, Sunshine. Those ones are really good. And I feel like if it's going to be a home console, I feel like if they really want to hit it out of the park, they got to make it, like, I don't know, Super Mario Galaxy 3, if that's ever going to be a thing.
Fuck Galaxy 3. I hate hearing people say that.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I feel like if they really want this console to be big, man, like, they gotta really pump out good games. Like, big games, solid, like, and, third-party support as usual, but, like, solid, like, titles that are not randomly forgettable.
Yeah, well, that's something else I forgot to put in my notes here. Later we'll talk about third-party. But what was I going to say? I know Miyamoto did state that they were ready to evolve the main 3D Mario games again, and that Mario's next main adventure would be waiting on the next platform. So I feel like it would be more likely for the home console release than the handheld.
Yeah, I don't see the handheld getting revolutionize Mario.
Yeah. All right, let's before I forget anything here, before I forget the third-party chat, let's talk about that. So, do you think?
Fuck Ubisoft. Try to put that out there.
Well, fair point, and Konami. But well, actually, maybe unless they give a Yu-Gi-Oh game a launch, I'd be fine with that. But either way,
gone to shit. I'm sorry. I used to play competitively, and like it's kind of dead.
Yeah. Well, there's the new movie coming out with the original cast, remember? But either way, a lot of people are saying NX is going to have, I don't know where they get their information from or their belief from, but it's like NX is going to miraculously turn this around and get all the third-party support from back in the Super Nintendo days.
Wait,
all based on the rumor that, third parties have a dev kit of the NX, and they're liking what they see. But if we look back at the past, remember that E3, the first E3 with the Wii U, where the video, EA and everything was like, we have so much ideas for the gamepad.
By the way,
and what happened? Exactly what happened. Nothing.
Remember everything? I remember Gearbox, EA, Ubisoft, what else?
Namco was
Namco. So many of them were praising it. I remember the Coalition that makes it's the newer name now, but the devs that made the Gears of War, they're like, oh, the Wii U, it's much better than the Xbox One and the PS4, and they gotta pick up their game, and I don't see a game coming out from them. And I mean, obviously they're affiliated with Microsoft, but I feel I don't know, what the hell happened? I remember when it was released, they were like, oh man, the big hype, oh, we're getting so many games, and I don't have any of them.
Yeah. somehow EA changed their mind, I guess. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, EA.
And I
So many
think
games
I
coming
think
out.
THQ was also alive back then.
Yeah,
And they were
yeah,
part.
THQ. Oh man, the days. Back in the days.
Because I remember Darksiders 2, I think it was a launch title for
Yes,
Wii U.
yes it was, yeah. I remember. I was so hyped for like Battlefield 3 on that. Medal
Yeah.
of Honor, and that never happened. And they just cut
Yeah.
it. I'm like, well, I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised, but,
Yeah. And then they all flipped a 180 and said stuff like, the Wii U can't handle Frostbite Engine or Unreal Engine, and then games came out using the Frostbite Engine on Wii U, and it's like, you're a fucking liar. It's like fucking game engines are scalable, even fucking smartphones and iPads can use them.
yeah, it's pretty sad. I don't know.
But
I feel like that's not gonna happen. I feel if people are gonna be more skeptical, if they get the dev kits and it's really good, then I mean, obviously they're gonna get their support. But
yeah, but at the same time, when you look at certain specific developers, like I've seen people commenting, whether it was on YouTube or forums or whatever, about like, I saw a comment where a kid was like, oh, if they should get like GTA and Bethesda games and stuff on their system.
oh man,
Bethesda has, even though everyone knows I hate Bethesda, but
Bethesda.
Bethesda, I pronounce. I don't even care about them enough to pronounce their name properly.
They're good. Although they make I've been playing Fallout 4 and it's pretty chill.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, Bethesda, whatever, has stated themselves, basically, they don't, cater to Nintendo's fan base. They know their target user base is on the Xbox, the PlayStation, and even PC.
Honestly, I think that's kind of true.
Same with Rockstar with GTA.
Well,
They know Nintendo fans don't buy their games.
Rockstar, they're worse. Like they have their own convention. They don't even go to freaking E3. I feel like they're too over their heads. But they really are, especially what they did with GTA 5, not releasing like unfinished game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like, though, with the whole third-party thing, we'll wrap this up, or the third-party part up with this, was unless Nintendo literally pays each individual developer for each individual game that they make to port over, then they're not going to make the profit back that would warrant it being on that system.
Yeah, I feel that if they're going to get third-party games, they're going to have to first make a console that appeals and gives an incentive to the devs to actually, consider making a game.
Yeah, they have to make it, point blank, they have to make it a copy and paste machine, like Xbox One and PS4, where it can go from being built on PC to just copy and paste it over.
Yeah, like it's gotta have to be portable. I don't know. I feel like the third-party game, like the whole idea behind it, I think that it's not gonna be solved right away. I feel like it's gonna take time.
Yeah. Oh, I completely forgot with the when we were talking EA and why they backstabbed Nintendo. That was because they helped Nintendo make the Nintendo Network and they wanted it to be absorbed into the Origin. That's why.
Fuck Origin. That's so complicated for no reason. Like I remember when you had to play Battlefield and Medal of Honor. Like, oh, you can't play. You have to have Origin account. Like fuck you. Like seriously. Like why would you want that? Like you're making games. Like the most anything that's perfect is simple. Like you don't have to overcomplicate things. I just want to play a fucking game. I don't want to make another fucking account with my same fucking email with every fucking thing. I don't want to be like a Best Buy account. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to play. And
you buy a game, you put it in, you play it.
It's a fucking corporation. I find EA is just garbage.
It's all about the money, man.
Man, like I feel bad for the devs, for the most part.
Yeah.
Although the ones for I don't know, Dice and Battlefront, man, that shit. Man. I'm sorry. Anyone who bought it is probably a casual or a fanboy of Star Wars. But they have made...
a certain someone comes to mind. I will not say who.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I feel like there was something else I wanted to say before we moved on to the next point here. Oh well, whatever. Let's move on.